Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. We're doing a little bit of a chaotic draft today. So we are doing some multi-tabling is the goal for today. We're hoping I'm just going to do the plan is to do 5 eliminators, and however long it takes to get them filled and done is how long the stream is going to be. Because I need to start catching up on these eliminators, and I want to try and see how this ends up working out. I'm curious, can I All right, screen's gonna go off for a second as I see if I can share the whole window. Add a stage, pull that back up, and now we can go through multiple drafts in different tabs. Because that's the way that I can make this work. So that's going to take a hot second to fill up probably. So we'll start with just thinking about this first one, and as this one fills, we will heck is going on? Different places. Oh dear Lord. What an absolute disaster. We may get an automatic selection here. That would not be optimal. Let's see if Underdog will accept my mobile data. Oh. All right. Well, it looks like we got Ash and GT at 8, which is fine by me. Doesn't feel great to have an auto pick in there, but Ash and GT, if you're going to get an auto pick, in my opinion, the first round is the best place for it to happen, because first round, you can always draft the first round off your ranks, in my mind, because you literally don't have anything else to go off of, like what other people take, I guess. But for the vast majority of stuff, you don't really have anything to work on when you're taking your first round pick. So your ranks should be relatively reflective of who you want there. And for me, it would be pretty close between G&T and Taylor there at the 1.8. So I'm certainly not upset with taking G&T there. Devon A. Chan and Nico Collins at the 1-2 turn. It's certainly unique. Jefferson's been kind of falling a bit in these, which I think is a bit strange, but whatever. Location error. Really? All right, so we're back on the clock. Psychic says O'Marion Hampton. I'm saying Kenneth Walker. I'm going to lean Kenneth Walker more as a balancing exposures sort of play. And I think, yeah, like I like Hampton. I think he's a good player and a good offense, but I don't know if I like him enough to be at 24% on a second round selection. I don't think so. Could not detect location. Is that? Oh, that's annoying. So for our second draft, we got the 1.4. hoping that someone does something crazy and takes a McCaffrey early, a Ashton GT early, because I think there's a pretty big gap between Gibbs, Robinson, and Chase and everyone else. So it'd be really nice to get the guys that be quite good, quite helpful. I haven't actually gone to the studio and everything and made sure that everything is working properly, because I don't necessarily trust myself for that stuff. Because Gibbs, Robinson, I'd really appreciate Chase. If I don't get Chase, I'm going to be a little bit sad. I'm a little bit sad. So we'll take Puka. Puka's fine. Puka's not bad. It's just the week 11 bye and the receiver thing is kind of annoying. All right. Can't detect location. Darn. Darn. Okay. On the fly problem solving. That's where we're at now. Darn. Okay. Well, we may just have to let that be for a hot second. I'm gonna say we're in the 2, and the 2 is good. Or I can do I'm gonna do the thing that's cheating, which is enter the draft on your phone and then draft it from your computer. Because for some reason that seems to work really well. Seems to be very, very effective to be doing that. And we are able to be heard, which is always good. So yeah, we'll just enter an eliminator on the phone. It's impossible we get a late third Trey McBride here. I think it's pretty difficult to say no to Trey McBride here. Certainly not impossible, but I really like Trey McBride at these falling prices. Because his early season outlook isn't really that hampered. Jacoby Brissett is there, and especially if people actually believe this Marvin Harrison FUD, which I don't, but I think is certainly some people will think is something. And of course I'm gonna want Trey McBride. It's just so painfully obvious. I don't know. I think the price is insane, but what do I know? If I look for Eliminator, I got one that's 2 picks away, one 6 picks away, and one that starts in 50 seconds. So we'll do that one. And we're at 11. So we're at the 2.9, and we're at the place where we hate to be, where it's there's only one player we can really pick here. That makes sense, and it's Drake London. And it's going to give us some very awkward bye week stuff. But I'm not going to be taking bad players just to have bye weeks fit out in a way that's more comfortable. So I'll take Drake London, and we'll move on with our life. All right, we got another one coming up. This one, 3 picks away. Looking like it's probably going to be a receiver here, which makes sense given that we went running back, tight end. Let me make sure I have. Where is StreamYard? There we go. StreamYard's back. Perfect. All right. So we're on the clock here. A bunch of the receivers that we want to go. So it's looking. Psychic is saying Scatabo. My ranks are saying McConkey, but I'm a little bit frothier on McConkey than I kind of want to be. Yeah, we'll go Scatabo. All the injury stuff seems really good there, so gladly take him. I mean, Nico Collins. Nico Collins feels pretty good. We can get him here. I think I would much prefer Nico Collins over Jeremiah Love. So let's go ahead and grab him. Yeah, it's not often that you get a wide receiver start here in the Eliminator, but when you get it, you want to make sure you don't fuck it up. So we're gonna need to be proactively taking some running backs still. But I don't know. This is a fun start. So 3 really, really good wide receivers. I strongly believe really help with scoring. All right, so we entered another one on the phone. So we're here at the 1.12, and we get to start Ashton Jeanty and CeeDee Lamb. That feels really good. What happened before still if this happened? Someone took Cook, and someone took Jefferson, and someone took Hampton at the 1.7. Yeah, I think Hampton's the next guy that's going to get steamed up the board. So I'm enjoying being overweight on him, but even then, 24% is a lot. 24%, that's a lot. A lot of pretty much any player. And it's crazy. We're going to be in 4 drafts, probably 5 here soon, and there's still these big gaps. There's not really a lot to talk about in what's going on. You just gotta let the drafts play out. All right. No, we're not doing a BBM. Oh, and now you allow me to enter on the computer after I've already figured out another way that works. Great. Really appreciate it. Thanks. All right. So it looks like this draft's coming up next, and it's looking like we really need receivers. I mean, if Terry's here, obviously I think he's a reasonable click. I disagree with the sidekick on taking Loveland here. I mean, this is a cheaper price on Loveland, but I really would like to get a receiver. I'm trusting in Trey McBride. It's saying Carnell Tate. I think Carnell Tate's good, but I think Christian Watson is kind of in a different tier. So I'm going to go ahead and grab him. We're going to move over to this one, which is where we started. Nakua, London, Nico Collins. It's 1 pick to us. And if we get the opportunity to take David Montgomery, we are almost certainly going to do so. This guy probably shouldn't take David Montgomery if he's not auto-drafting, but he is auto-drafting. So Psychic says take Tootin or Irving or Judkins. I'm going to go ahead and take another wide receiver in Jalen Waddle. I think Jalen Waddle is really just rising up in price. Again, when you have these double bye week things, I think getting other good starters at that position can really help you out. And one of Tootin, Irving, or Judkins is almost certainly going to be available to me when I am coming back. I'll say this: the fact that this guy is also going. It's also gone 4 wide receivers, and I think just a significantly worse 4 wide receivers doesn't make me a little bit skeptical. But I doubt both of these guys go running back. I really hope they don't. So if they do, I wouldn't take Price, I don't think. I'm definitely damn. I can't take Devontae. I guess I just take Lamar here. Is how I want to play this. Just go, okay, we will be excelling at the wide receiver and the quarterback position, and we'll take good stabs on running back later. Damn, that sucks. Anyway, now we've got two drafts that I want to pick away. This one, I think it's pretty clear. We were considering Carnell Tate for the last pick, and he's still here, so we're going to continue to consider him. And by considering him, I'm going to draft him. And here, Psychic is saying Neighbors. I'm going to go ahead and just click Josh Jacobs. I'm just really thinking about Neighbors. Neighbors versus Garrett Wilson, T. Higgins, Lad McConkey. fine. I will take. Yeah, I'm not going to take Neighbors in any of these other drafts, but I do want to be a little bit more in than I have been because the injury news has seemed very bullish, from what I understand. Him like actually running around and like flying over a practice field is really good for his prospects to matter, especially early in the season. And it's like really, really likely that he's not like just an absolute zero for until after the bye. Like that is close to 0% being on the table. Yeah, we'll take Taylor here. It's fine. I want to respect ADP just like a teeny tiny bit with Jonathan Taylor. And I don't really want to be as in on GT as I already am. Maybe I should have taken CD. Should have taken CD because I'm like just oddly down on CD despite him being a player I like, just with how the drafts I've been in have shook out, which is kind of annoying. It's always frustrating when you've got a player that you're like pretty happy with and like you're like excited to draft, but you just don't get them. I agree with Ramondre here over Brian Thomas. Could just be getting the Patriots' #1 running back and being really happy about it. All right. So I don't know. Kenneth Walker goes. Like I guess I can take Chase Brown. I think I'd rather just take A-Chain. Yeah, I just don't believe. I don't believe in Chase Brown. I really do not. Got the 1.8 in this eliminator. I think we can maybe juggle one more. Add 74 cents to my eliminator count, and then just like drill it down to 0. Okay, so RJ Harvey, Chuba Hubbard, Blake Corum. Yeah, people are really souring on Chuba Hubbard. I mean, RJ Harvey's not crazy. I'll probably, just accept him. We're 2 picks away. Here, Chuba Hubbard is going to be top of my ranks, but those are stale ranks. And J.K. Dobbins, I think, is a really good player. So we'll go ahead and grab J.K. Dobbins. Hope that he's just good and healthy, and we get, the 2 starting running backs on the 2 people in the AFC Championship game. And that those guys are going to be good. And we just, as long as that happens, we feel pretty good about this 0 RB start that we have going. Yep, that is totally fine. Can I enter another one, please? Yeah. I mean, if I deposit funds and just go and do this until I only have 100 left, like get to 50, that could be fun. I have a bit of time tonight. Tyler Warren is who it is by Sidekick. My ranks say Christian Watson. And I'm going to stand by my ranks on that one. I don't think there's anything crazy that happened with Christian Watson that makes me want to go in a different direction. But I will capitulate to the Sidekick on Tyler Warren. All right, we're on the clock here. Need more receiver. We have Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed top ranks. Jaden Reed top of Sidekick. Just click the button. I'll go ahead and take CD Lamb here. Balance some exposures a little bit. Get some guy. Darn, I would have loved Javante. But we will take Travis Etienne Jr. Get both of the Etiennes on the same team. That's always nice. Always a little bit funny as well. Yeah, we have a 0 RB start. We have 2 hyperfragiles. This is we have a balanced. This is our 0 RB. Jonathan Brooks here coming up. It's probably fair. We're expecting Brooks to just keep climbing. If he's like getting all this camp buzz and you're not really reaching that far down to take him on a team where you really need running back production. that's the right time to take Jonathan Brooks, I think. You know, like my wide receivers are sad. Puka, London, Collins, Waddle, like you can't really get much better than that. So yeah, I guess we're gonna take the engine of the Chiefs offense here again. Kenneth Walker feels pretty nice to be doing that. Still waiting on one person for our 6th eliminator. Yeah, hopefully we get Garrett Wilson here. If we don't, yeah, I was gonna say we'll take Waddle. He's just gonna keep rising, so we'll chase him up the board a little bit. Yeah, I'm shocked Aaron Jones is that high. I mean, I guess this is the psychic saying you really need running back points, and you don't have them right now. Which, fair. I don't. Like, Ramondre Dobbins, Jonathan Brooks is not the best start to a running back room. So I'm not really opposed to focusing capital in that area. Would have much preferred Rachaad White to Aaron Jones, though. Like, I'm at least a little tempted to grab Purdy instead. I think I will take Purdy because I'm happy to stop at 2 quarterbacks now. Yeah, I think that's good. It's going to be at the 9-8 here. I will never take Michael Wilson. Not a chance in the world. Much more likely to take Jordan Addison. I'm also not taking Alec Pierce. Just not happening. So, great. And we got the 112 again. Very annoying. We hate the 112. See if we can get another one. I think we'll stop at midnight 25 my time is when we'll stop entering drafts. Waiting for 5 people for this one. All right, let's look at the chat. Because I will say during this, my attention to the chat is going to be probably not as great as it has been for some of the other streams, just because this is a lot more chaotic. And we'll go Chuba Hubbard. Probably won't go Chuba Hubbard, Jonathan Brooks, but you know, it's not bad to have them like really, really close to each other. I'm not taking Jonathan Brooks. I'm not taking Mekhi Lemon. Yeah, let's take Josh Downs. I like Josh Downs. And I don't really have enough of him in my mind, which is kind of crazy to say. All right, we're going to have to take this quickly. Yeah, ETN is fine and fits the team. We need a receiver. Devontae Williams, top of my ranks, top of the sidekick. We just make the selection. Got these 2 on 3 picks away. Yeah, I mean, we get Purdy and Aaron Jones falls back to us like that. That is why we at least consider pushing. Because sometimes you just like get a completely better combination. Like unless we would have gone Aaron Jones and JCM, but wouldn't have had that opportunity anyway. And Aaron Jones on this team making me feel a lot better. Yeah, Xavier Worthy would be nice here. Stafford, with all the Week 11 stuff we have on this team, not sure that's necessary. With our 101, we will go ahead and take Jahmyr Gibbs. It's nice to be able to pump that number up a little bit. I don't want to be underweight the consensus 101 if I don't have to be. Oh, we're on the clock here. It's saying Stafford. I'll go ahead and probably take Jordan Love over Stafford. Stacking is only a little bit bad. Back over to this draft. We started Walker, Etienne, and Lamb. We'll go T. Higgins. Top of sidekick, top of my ranks. Feels really nice. Bouncing over to this draft, it's going to be our first pick here. We're going to be picking at the 1.12. Hoping to get Gene to follow us. We don't get it. It's looking like we'll take our first James Cook share. And then we'll go James Cook and Derrick Henry. That feels fun. On the clock here. Tyler Warren versus Tony Pollard. I'll go ahead and take Tyler Warren. Positionally is fine. Says we wants a tight end. I'm going to grab Chris Rodriguez instead. Like we're really just taking all the running backs that like could be something interesting and shoving them on a team. But I really think this team is interesting. Chris Rodriguez could be the starting running back for the Jags. Aaron Jones could be the starting running back for the Vikings. Brooks for the Panthers. Dobbins for the these could all be starting running backs, or they could be complete and total dust balls. We just don't know. Yeah, so it'll be one more draft, and then as long as it fills reasonably quickly, and then we will be done afterwards. I mean, it's very tempting to go down to 2 more drafts, go down to only $9 in the account, but there we are. Yeah, I promised chaos, and we got chaos today. It is a stream that is just as much about the thoughts and the process as it is just going around and making a lot of fantasy football picks, because we need to make a lot of fantasy football picks. That's how you get 150 drafts done, is you make a lot of fantasy football picks. So we're back here on our draft that's at the turn, I believe. Yeah, where we started Gene T and CeeDee Lamb. Obviously want to land that plane. Feels really good to be in this spot. I'm going to agree probably with Rachaad White and Mahomes being the 2 selections here. Feels really good. Yeah, that feels comfortable. Rachaad White is just has a decent possibility to be a really impactful back, and fell a lot. I don't know how to speak, evidently. And Pat Mahomes, he's practicing week 1, and that wasn't always supposed to be the case. Out here, saying Travion, I don't know if I agree with that. We're going to continue to just pump our Christian Watson bags, I think. I really want to make sure that I'm overweight on him. I'm a little bit worried about quarterbacks, so we'll go ahead and take Stroud here with Jordan Love. Yep, Christian Watson there. Waiting for one person. Yeah, as long as this will fill soon and we'll be done. RJ Harvey here over Jaden Reed. With the bye weeks, I can say that that's acceptable, and RJ Harvey really is one of the few talent-based bets that is not absurdly expensive. I don't know about Debo. Oh. Yeah, Debo's fine. He just signed. People aren't valuing him properly yet. It's certainly a reach, but he's back on the 49ers. He's shown how really awesome he can be in this offense. So how else can you judge a player other than him doing really great things in this offense already before, and just trusting that he has at least the ability to do it again, whether or not he actually does do it again. You know what? Fuck it. We're doing one more. We're grinding it down to we don't have enough funds in the account to enter anymore. We're going down. We will be down to 105 left, 45 eliminators done when we are done here. All right. So we started with Gibbs. I'd like to pick some receivers here if possible. Probably be I don't really love Pickens. Goes anyway. So we'll go Collins, and I think Breece Hall will be my 2 picks here. It's weird because I've seen Breece Hall fall, and I'm loving when I can get the fall, but you don't always have that opportunity. Sometimes you just got to take good players where you think they should go. Surprised I'm above market on Cortland Sutton, but whatever. Seems a bit early for Ramondre, but it should be fine. I think I do agree that we need a running back, and I'm not taking Chuba Hubbard at ADP with all of this stuff going on. Mekhi Lemon, I guess it's Mekhi Lemon over Jonathan Brooks is the other person I was thinking about, but yeah, Mekhi. Oh my gosh. Jesus Christ. We got a couple auto draft selections in there. Jalen Coker there and Stephon Diggs here. Both I'm absolutely fine with. Those are some decent players with high upside, and this team needed a wide receiver. Anyway, this team I maybe would have preferred a tight end, but we're done at receiver, maybe done at running back. So what are we at, 13? We're definitely done at quarterback and probably done at receiver. Make sure I'm not missing anything. We're on the clock here. We started James Cook, Derrick Henry, We have the ability to take neighbors. I think I was saying I'm only wanting to take one neighbor's share, but I am doing more drafts now than I thought I was going to. So with these drafts, I'm fine taking a second neighbor's share, like just because we know neighbors are going to be rocketing up boards. So want to go ahead and try and get at least a little bit ahead of that if we can. Malik Willis or Shuck or Stroud. We'll go ahead and go Malik Willis. I don't want to think too much about these things when I'm already in a bit of a timing pickle. Yeah, we'll go ahead and grab Justin Jefferson. Make sure we get that elite wide receiver. Kincaid, Shuck or Stroud. I think because both Shuck and Stroud are there, we can just go Kincaid. And we'll get something back almost certainly. Yeah, Psychic and I agree. Derrick Henry here. So we have a Derrick Henry and Justin Jefferson start. Just like sort of boring. It's like fine, whatever. It's not anything special. Like, where's our hyperfragile build? I don't know. Can't find it. That's a little bit worrying in and of itself. Yeah, we need a tight end on this one, so we'll grab a tight end. I need a quarterback here. I'm going to take Mahomes over Kyler. I will IKB the Psychic there. Yeah, we need a tight end. Click a tight end. Feels nice and steady. Yeah. And we will be taking tight ends probably with our next 3 picks for this one. On the clock here, says we need a running back. J.K. Dobbins, top of my ranks, top of the kick. Let's go. Oh, we got the 1.4 again. Hopefully we get a better selection than Puka this time. Omar Cooper. We're gonna take Omar Cooper first because we can get both. And Lord knows both these players are quite underpriced. All right, we're back on the clock here. Bucky and Quinshawn. Yeah, I don't really love taking Mike Evans when we already have a week 8 bye receiver. And we can just be done at running back with those 4. We got Hawk falling to us at ADP again, but when you get a position of need at ADP, yeah, we'll take Puka, fine. It's okay. When you get a position of need at ADP, like a position of dire need at ADP, it feels like a fall sometimes. It just gives you that nice, good, warm, fuzzy feeling, which is really nice. Yeah, this is being in the element, just making picks left and right, being able to talk a little bit about each of them, and then just moving right along. Again, 27% Kyler, when it seems a little bit more like he's actually in a competition with McCarthy. Like, I don't know. I'm still happy taking him, but I just think it's a little bit funny that it's like, oh, he could be the backup. He could be the backup. If he's the backup, he's just bad. And if he's just bad, then I already wasted a pick on him anyway. So I'm gonna choose to believe that he's good enough to beat out fucking 9, and just let it rip. Just absolute comedy there. So yeah, Schultz. Travis Hunter did not make it back to us. Oh, because we were on the wrong side of the turn, I guess. That's a little bit unfortunate, but say la vie. We got Cook, Henry, Jacobs, and Neighbors, and now I'm going to stick by Dunze. I feel pretty confident that's the right pick here, and I would guess Carnell Tate with him. Yeah, great. Here, Travis Hunter showing up. Travis Hunter feels good. Although Aaron Rodgers get a 3rd quarterback. No, Travis Hunters are going to be our selection. I'm going to make sure I haven't accidentally pushed the plane on any of these drafts. Yeah, and grab Aaron Rodgers. Feels good. Yeah, no plane pushing. We're making all of our picks as much as we can. Our third quarterback, third tight end, Cade Otton, come on down. Absolutely, that's perfect. Schultz, Hawk, Otton. That's what I call a perfectly acceptable tight end room. So we got Itchen and Jacobs. The person behind us, Cook, Barkley. So they don't really have I wouldn't think they have a lean on these running backs. So I'm just going to take the one that I think is better, which is Itchen, because, he is much less likely to be in jail when the season starts than Josh Jacobs. And I don't think their outlooks are that different. Yeah, I'm not taking another neighbor share unless I get him at like a very reasonable cost. So we will be happy with Josh Jacobs as well. So yeah, we need receivers here. Khalil Shakir is always our savior. The being able to bet against DJ Moore is a beautiful thing. Yep, Jaden Daniels, a step above the rest. Nakua having to do one of these guys. I'm going to choose Brown over London. Slightly more unique, not that it really matters, but it does feel nice, I think. Yeah, I love Fannin. Whenever I have the opportunity to take him, feels really nice. Dejon Stribling, I think, can go down a little bit. So I was going to pick A.D. Mitchell. Anyway, Jeremy Bernard, Keenan Allen here. Yeah, Jeremy Bernard's fine. I was very much tossing those two guys up. So we got Puka, A.J. Brown. I kind of agree that this is when you want to take Kyron, is when you already have Puka, and you can get that team level correlation. That feels really, really nice. And I don't love taking Kyron. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not a Kyron guy. And I'm also not a guy that loves 3 week 11 buys with my first 3 picks. But sometimes you just got to do it. You got to say, okay, the Rams are really great. A.J. Brown's really great. So it doesn't really matter that they're all gone on week 11. I can worry about the rest of my team to get me through week 11. But these guys are the guys that are going to smash and get me through the whole season. So we got Mahomes, Murray. Yeah, let's just grab Sam Darnold. That feels good. And then we get Shaheed down here. Hopefully, Shaheed and Diggs and Jaden Higgins, who I have ranked exactly at ADP despite really being not a big fan of. But I mean, it's hard because he's like very clearly going to be in 2 wide receiver sets. So it's like, how bad can it be? So Xavier Worthy goes. That's really quite a bit disappointing. I agree with the correlation stuff for Dobbs. So that feels reasonable. Let's go Trey Harris. I haven't gotten much Trey Harris. And the week 7 buy isn't going to be a big issue on this team. Yeah, I don't know about Calvin Ridley. Let's go Gunnar Helm. Just a very slightly into Gunnar Helm. Calvin Ridley. K-Dot. Let's go K-Dot. One pick away here. We went Cook, Henry, Jacobs, Neighbors, Odunze, Tate, and now we're probably going to go Jaden Reed. J.K. Dobbins versus Jaden Reed. It's tough. I'm going to go Jaden Reed. No, I'm going to go Dobbins. He's ranked 10 spots higher. He's higher in my ranks. Like it would be foolish to go in a different direction, and I don't want to be foolish. So grab Carnell Tate, and I think J-Mo is actually a pretty good selection, but we don't get the chance to take him. All right, we already have him locked in. Ooh, Skedibo versus Montgomery. I'm going to agree and say Skedibo is probably the better one. A little bit surprised I even got a choice, but here we are. Looks like our first one's just about finished. We're at 2,573. And we can make that 4 and go with Darnell Washington as our final selection, I believe. So we'll go ahead and run this down. Doesn't look like we have anything too crazy. We have Lamar and Purdy At quarterback, Ramondre, Dobbins, Brooks, Jones, and Rodriguez. At running back, Nakua, London, Collins, Waddle, Samuel, Diggs, and Bernard. At wide receiver, and Schultz, Hawkinson, Otten, and Darnell Washington at tight end. Nice and easy. No, we're not doing that. I guess we're taking Colston Loveland. I actually kind of don't think it's terrible. I was going to say, if you have Travis Hunter, it's hard for me to not say immediate yes to that, but I think I'm probably going to get Travis Hunter back, and Trey Tucker is nice. Nice number one receiver. All right, so we went Jane Daniels, Jalen Hurts. Let's just keep on going elite onesies. Who needs wide receivers? Wide receivers, whatever. What's a wide receiver? If I score enough for the other positions, wide receivers don't matter, which is true. Enough is a very high bar, but if you score enough, yeah. Tua's apparently got something going on at camp, if I remember correctly. So I'm a little bit not super duper into that. But yeah, Chris Rodriguez is the end of this. We'll go ahead and grab Kincaid though. Nah, if we can get him, we'll go Chris Rodriguez. Nope, we didn't get him. That's fine. I'm not married to either one of us. I mean, sure. Let's take Tua. Surprised that I have multiple shares of Tua in this contest. Yeah, we just went Trey Tucker because we knew we could get Travis Hunter to come back, and Travis Hunter comes back. So that feels nice. We still got one more pick in this one. We are a 3-4-7-3. So, yeah, and maybe a little bit overinvested in the tight end position, but nothing crazy. I think George Halani's probably pretty reasonable here. I don't think I need something different. So let's go ahead and lock that in. This is saying I need a quarterback. I'd rather have Sam Darnold over C.J. Stroud on this team because, I want to lose Luke Khalil. But no, just because I think Stroud is a little bit more consistent of a performer. We got Cooper Kupp here, I think. Actually, no, we'll go Rashad Bateman. Rashad Bateman sounds really nice right about now. That is what I call projected points right there. We don't have a single Elijah Surratt, which is kind of shocking. Oh, Devon Bailey. I haven't drafted Devon Bailey once, and this is a team where Devon Bailey will fit in lovely. So, yeah, now we're back to a little bit calmer. RJ Harvey coming back. I'm happy that I'm going to eventually be overweight of RJ Harvey, but it's a little bit frothy for him. I may need to tone him down in the ranks and in the psychic. Back, I only have 2% Dak Prescott. Yeah, we're clicking Dak Prescott if we have the chance, and he's only at 2%. I want to balance that a little bit. We'll go, and this is Dobbins. So we'll go ahead and get the quarterback running back correlation. Grab a mix there. And then Kyler's still at the top, and we'll go ahead and accept that as well. Yeah, Drake May here. Yeah, this feels like a fun team. May, Kyron, Scatabo, Nakua, AJ Brown, Colston Loveland. Sounds like a really fun team that is absolutely getting bounced week 11, but such is life. Yeah, I mean, this is not an easy set of drafts. I made, I think, 2 auto picks due to some internet problems. So wasn't super happy about that, but otherwise, even the psychics help a lot. Having your own customized rankings, I think, help a lot. So because you sort of can just look at the players at the top of the queue and sort of be like, oh yes, these are the sorts of guys that I would be considering on my own. Without the psychic, see what the psychic is considering. You're definitely not getting detailed structure concerns down pat, but at the end of the day, it's pretty there are a wide variety of things that can work. So it can be just as much a benefit as it is a negative, like forcing you to go different structures by like not being able to think about structures much. I like Tyler out here. I really do like Tyler out here. Although, the fact that our quarterback that's available is Aaron Rodgers is probably good enough. Just make me go do that. Okay, so this is the one where you like just need wide receivers. Casey Concepcion is in fact a wide receiver. You know who else is a wide receiver? Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden could be amazing. I don't think he's going to be amazing, but he could be. So let's grab him too. This team is just going to need wide receivers that could be amazing. Those two quarterbacks, we're not looking in the general vicinity of them again. That's going to be totally fine. Other positions there, we got some worries about. Yeah, let's go Ridley. No, Ridley over Judy. I don't know about that. I can't be doing that long term, especially when I don't have another Cleveland pass catcher on this team. Oh yeah, Jerry Judy just makes you feel good. I mean, not really. There's nothing about Jerry Judy that has ever made anyone feel good, but he is at least going to be fine. And I think in this wide receiver room, that has a significant amount of value. So tight end situation, we don't need another tight end. I haven't gotten any Jalen McMillan. Let's grab some Jalen McMillan. He's a player. He's going to play. I should probably not have 0% of him. And when he falls 16 picks past ADP, that's probably a great time to take him. So that's pretty much the end of my analysis there. So I go, oh, this guy's a football player on a decent offense that we know has at least some level of talent. I should probably have some of him. And I'm going to take my some of him when he falls off the face of the earth. Yeah, Xavier Worthy here. I don't think I need to. Like, after taking Dak, I don't need a quarterback. At least not right now. Yeah. This feels like a couple of really cool drafts. I'm actually going to bring back the completed drafts just so I can do a little like run over of all of them once I'm done. And yeah, that Aaron Jones, Justin Jefferson thing is going to feel great. And it does feel great already. Okay, that's just not working. So let's pop that in there. We're definitely done at running back on this team. Here it's saying Jake Ferguson. I'm not sure if it's saying that Ferguson is just going to be a lot better in these sets of sims, or if it's actually like, please take a tight end, and this is the tight end we want. Do we have a Debo still left? Doesn't look like it. Sure. Let's go to Aaron Jones. Should be really, really good. I guess we'll take Jonathan Brooks, although I'm not super happy about it. I don't know. That's a bit of a rough one. All right, we're here, 3-4-5-2 build. It's pretty good stuff. We don't need another one. Go and grab Trey Harris again, I think, over Dontavian Wicks and Calvin Ridley. I don't know. Calvin Ridley's been a really tough click for me, so I've been pretty okay with just saying, nah, I'm good, actually. So we're back. We got Debo over Omar Cooper for this receiver room. I'll accept it. I want to be loading up on Debo when his price is like objectively still pretty reasonable. I mean, I'm sure the more people think about it, the more that they're just going to be in on even a washed Debo in a reasonably favorable role. Pardon me. Sorry. What was I saying? Yes, Debo in his role, even if his skills are diminished, can really return value at this cost. And that's all I'm looking for. Jordan Mason or Jordan Addison. Let's go Jordan Addison, actually. It's wide receiver. And that's pretty much where my analysis ended on that. I'm like, he's a wide receiver. The other guy's not. I'd rather have Gunnar Helm than Cade Otton on this team, at least. Yeah, like packs out that tight end room into a strength. We got 2 more picks here. Hopefully, a wide receiver and a running back. That would be my hope. So back here, can stack up our quarterback with Jake Ferguson or grab another running back in Chris Rodriguez. We don't need another running back. Take T-Ferg. Or not T-Ferg. Shh. We will not be taking T-Ferg. It'll be okay. But Jake Ferguson in this one. All right. This is a 3-4-8-2 with Tyler Warren and TJ Hawkinson. We're just accepting that these long-haired tight ends are going to be able to pull through. I certainly hope so. And the kick is saying, help your running back room with Marshawn Lloyd. Because no one else is even a reasonable prospect. And I'll say fine. I will up my 4% exposure blanket on Marshawn Lloyd. And a lot of the stuff he does looks really good. You just got to look into it more than that. And with all the health stuff that's going on, like, it's hard. But he's talented. Like, ain't no one being able to argue that he's not talented. We got some familiar faces at the top of the queue. Omar, Cooper, Juwan Johnson, Travis Hunter. I think we'll go Juwan Johnson. Yeah, this draft just needs tight ends more than it needs wide receivers. Oh, we can go both. So we'll go Omar, Cooper, and Juwan Johnson. Feels pretty nice. Yeah. Quarterback set. Tight end is getting set. Yeah, this is coming together. Come on, guys. We got to be going faster with these. Like, these guys were the first 3 were really fast, and they were the first ones we did. I would much prefer the slower ones to be earlier, later ones to be fast, so they converge on when they end a little bit more instead of just going out and spreading all the way out. I'm not a huge fan of that. We're back in 1 pick here. Our team is Herbert, Darnold, Rodgers at quarterback, Walker, Etienne Jr., Ramondre, and Dobbins at running back, Lamb, Higgins, Watson, Dobbs, Jalen McMillan, and Trey Harris at receiver, and Fannin, Kincaid, and Gunnar Helm at tight end. I think the guys need something, but I don't know. We just need a veteran presence in this room. And we'll need another exciting young running back to completely forget about by week 4 because he is inactive. I don't know who that's going to be, but I know the archetype of player that we're going to hit. It feels like almost certainly. I would take like Sean Tucker over a lot of these guys, at least in this situation. But the Braylon Allen, Ray Davises, K.H. Allens of the world, I'm like, yeah, whatever. That's fine. No, you don't need to know it. It's okay. So we're about to be back on 1 more pick. This is Chris Rodriguez time. Absolutely. If we have the opportunity to pick Chris Rodriguez, we will be taking one Mr. Chris Rodriguez. Even with the injury, there's been no reporting that I've seen that makes it sound like the injury is so significant that he's going to be missing large parts of camp or like really not be ready for the season. So I'm okay to like sort of jump back in at these lower prices. Yeah. Don't need that. Probably don't need that. Probably will need that. And by that, in this case, I mean a third. Oh, darn. We got Rodgers. I was talking too much and did not actually start who I wanted. That's really annoying, but such is life. Yeah, we'll take our first Elijah Surratt share. Actually, no, we want Sean Tucker. We said we wanted Sean Tucker. We got Sean Tucker. Huzzah. Yeah. I'm a little bit pissed at myself about that Rodgers mix-up. It's just not good for him. That's our, second or third missed pick? And I think actually a pretty impactful one. It's just almost going to be impossible to correctly do positional allocation when I put this much into quarterback. but I'm going to do my best by just saying we got three great quarterbacks, 4 great running backs, and we'll stick at 2 tight ends, and the rest of this draft is just going to be receivers. Like, it is just going to be receiver down the board. We'll take Wicks. We'll take Ridley. We'll take anyone that you'll let me take at the receiver position for the next 3 picks, and we'll be a 3-4-9-2, and I think that'll be fine. So this one is Bo Nix, Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones, James Cook, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, J.K. Dobbins. So we're set at both of those positions. Jake Vertz and Juwan Johnson, which we'll want one more tight end. And Neighbors, Adunze, Tate, Reed, Cooper at wide receiver, which means we're going to need a lot more wide receivers. And a lot more wide receivers starts with Calvin Ridley, maybe. Yeah, it's better than auto-drafting a quarterback. So we'll grab Calvin Ridley 100% because we don't want to be grabbing Fernando Mendoza. And then Gunnar Helm. Yeah, this Tennessee passing attack is just great for this team to work. Like, Cam Ward just really takes that step, gets some really nice play designs. And these Titans are just able to absolute body people, which, yeah, they probably can do that. Drake May, Kyler Murray, another quarterback's not probably unwelcome. This is still feeling like a really, really solid draft. In my mind, like, a lot of the picks I'm not as enthusiastic about have like very specific reasons for why they're there, and I know them, so it makes me be able to appreciate them a lot more. So Kick says Stroud. This is on the easy side. Yeah, we'll go Stroud. Stroud's fine. I don't really want to have to think about, did I get everything situated with quarterbacks? No, CJ Stroud will be fine. It's good enough. We don't have to think about it more than that. We just say, we're done and dusted at the quarterback position now, and it's going to be strength. You can't say that. And then you go and you work on other stuff. Yeah, Debo's buy overlaps with Jordan Tyson's because we haven't fully connected that he is on the 49ers yet to everything. But yeah, that's an exciting one for Debo. Like, you have to be a little bit worried about Ricky just like eventually being fine, but for now, I don't know. I feel pretty good about my Debo shares. Jeremy Bernard, Ted Hurst, Keenan Allen. Yeah, we're going Antonio Williams. This is what we want. Light stacks with the quarterback and players that we don't have a ton of exposure to. Malik Washington is interesting. We'll go ahead and grab Elijah Surratt in this room. Rookie, new team, rookie. Yeah, we probably going to want a boring veteran to finish out that room. Yeah, we'll go TJ Hawkinson here, where we have Prescott, Rodgers, Henry, Etienne, Jacobs, Harvey, Jones, Rodriguez. Wow, that's overkill at the running back room. Jefferson, Tate, Odunze, Worthy, Hunter, Ferguson, Hawkinson. Yeah, I guess we're going to have to – yeah, this draft is just kind of fucked. I think I had a couple of too many auto picks. That running back room is just so incredibly strong. We need to be finding hits at wide receiver. And we need to already trust what we have at quarterback and tight end, I think. So we'll go ahead and accept Calvin Ridley with, very semi-open arms, with very cautious open arms. So this is a 2-6-6-2, and it's probably going to end up being a 3-6-6-3, maybe? I don't know. This is a rough one, because I know I don't want any more capital being set at the running back position. This wide receiver room is cheeks. Jefferson, Tate, Odunze, Worthy, Hunter, Ridley. I mean, it's just not great. And then we definitely need another quarterback for the Rodgers stuff. And I definitely need another tight end. So I guess it should probably be quarterback and receiver. That would be my guess as to what makes the most sense. Keenan. Yeah, we just need the receivers. So we'll grab Keenan. We'll just like start a couple of receivers, just in case I make a mistake and I'm not here in time or something like that to make the pick. Just grab Keenan Allen, and all the other picks don't really matter as much. Yeah, I think I agree with the kick that I am higher on Cooper Kupp than Pat Bryant. I think the Seahawks offense is still probably going to be just fine enough, and he'll have some sort of meaningful role in it. And at this price, that's totally fine if that's all we get. That is absolutely A-okay. So we're done with that draft. We're down to 3. We got 1 in the 18th round. So about to finish up. We have 1 in the 17th round and 1 in the 14th round. So, yeah, perfectly reasonable. I mean, I don't know what the pen pal protocol is. I was never much of a writer. But from the outside looking in, that seems pretty normal, pretty reasonable. So, I don't know what's going on there, but whatever it is, it's fine. One of my favorite co-star things I've seen. Happiness is an inside job. It's true. Happiness is you telling yourself that you're happy, and I'm telling myself right now that I am tired. Also happy, but I am definitely exhausted from what we've been doing today. So this is going to be pardon me. This is going to be the last pick of this. Yeah. He's already got the 3 quarterbacks, I guess. I don't know. We're just going to take the top of the kick, top of our ranks guy, and feel pretty good about it. And now we need to look at quarterbacks for you. For you, 12, 14, 17. Oh, we're going the last one. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go Kobe Parkinson. I don't know. It's the worst thing that happens. We'll finish up this tight end room with TJ Hawkinson. And Darnell Washington, they've been raving on Darnell Washington. I'm not quite sure why, but they've been absolutely enamored with the idea of, you basically. Yeah, well, this feels good. Feels like we're really relying on Aaron Rodgers to be decent, and he has a decent chance of being decent. So we'll just accept that, old dogs and new tricks don't always work out well together, and move right along. So we're down to just this one draft now. This is always the lovely part of multi-tabling, when all of your tables go away, all of your, everything that is not you and the picture you're making right in front of you goes away. And you can just focus on this one draft and go, oh, okay. Yeah, this is the Nakua, A.J. Brown, Kyron start with Drake May. So we have those 4 players, now 5 with Hunter Henry, that have the Week 11 buys. So we're definitely pretty strongly indexed on that. But I'm really excited about all those players. So, and these are like offenses I have stacked in some way. So that also lessens the worry I have about the bye weeks, as if they were all part of the same team. Like, they can just be so positively correlated over the course of the season that it doesn't really matter that Week 11 is not going to feel great, because not a lot of people are going to be around Week 11, and some of them are going to have just as bad or worse teams than you. Like, it's crazy how many teams I remember going through and going, that made it through? How? And it's because the guy just had a bunch of teams, got lucky with variance with pod luck, and just took that to the bank. And when you get the check and are able to take it to the bank, that feels pretty darn good. Yeah, we definitely have spent a lot of capital on the onesies. May and Murray and Stroud, and then Loveland and Henry and Hawkinson is generally more than I like to have at those positions in a perfect world, but we don't live in a perfect world. We live in a world where we're going to need some extra nonsense from our quarterbacks and our tight ends. So we're going to just sit on them and use them when, when we absolutely have to. I agree with I agree with the sidekick on 80 Mitchell being a slightly better pick than Dontavian Wicks, but I'd be pretty happy with either here. And then, this is a George Holani looking team if I've ever seen one. Because, we've over-indexed on both quarterback and tight end, which means running back and receiver are currently both a little bit wanting. And I'm happy to fix the receiver side of it first with Dontavian Wicks. So if we have one more pick, or we have two more picks here in this draft, we can have one of them be another receiver, another one of them be getting, drafting a player when I get that haircut. So, I mean, we got all these wonderful, wonderful running backs taken off right before me. Very sad. Yeah, we still need another dialogue line. I don't know. I've not been super happy on Bernard. I think 16 is a bit high, and I have been pretty interested in Ted Hurst now with the way that staff keeps talking about him and the other receivers. And I don't know. There's just something about Ted Hurst that makes me go, you know what? I need to have at least a sprinkling of this guy because he could be him. And I don't want to be playing in a season where there's very clearly a him and I don't have him. Yeah, so we got one last pick here, and then we will be heading off into the ether after a nice tidy 75-minute stream where we got a ton of drafts done. It's really nice. I think maybe doing this once a week, just having this be one of the scheduled draft times where I just go and mass enter a bunch could be really cool. I'll have to think about that for a later time, but I will not be doing this again for our next stream 100%, and probably not within any any reasonable amount of time afterwards either, just because I can imagine it's not easy. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we're definitely taking Singleton over Allen on this team. Singleton would be my personal favorite, followed by Bruton Allen, followed by Emmett Johnson, I think. Or probably in that order. Actually. But I need to have these guys as options. Because, Kyron Scadabo, Brooks Rodriguez is not killing it for me. And not that, Emmett Johnson is going to start killing it for you. But I think you just need more dart throws in that area. Yeah, Tyson and Ted Hurst being late bloomers is fine, especially with the Ted Hurst week after bye into Nakua and Brown's off week vibes. And by then, hopefully vibes are immaculate for, all these guys. And we just don't have to think about it. We just can say, this one's my favorite, and I like it. Yeah, I think definitely next time I do this, I'm going to cap it a little bit lower. I think 9 drafts was a bit much. I think 4 is probably about where I think I actually am not going to miss any picks, but and still be able to talk about all the decisions I'm making. It's probably not going to be the most in-depth thoughts about every player, and I definitely can't get on tangents with the chat when I'm doing the big long-winded stuff, but I can at least explain what I'm doing, which I wasn't sure that I was able to do during this stream. I wasn't super excited with how well I was explaining all the picks I was making. Darn, I would have liked Nick Singleton there. I guess we take Katron. Katron is just who I've been defaulting to in this spot, and I don't think we have any enough training camp news for me to lean in a different direction yet. Even though I'm like, it's probably not going to be great, but it worked out. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the psychic and hating late running back. Like, you just sort of have to just say no to the psychic, say no to drugs, kids, and just go, okay, sure, whatever you can tell me that's fine. But yeah, we're just looking at these teams: Prescott, Rodgers, Henry, Etienne, Jacobs, Henry, Jones, Rodriguez. Yeah, no late running backs there. No late running backs here, but this one's very reasonable, I think. Having your, what is this, first, third, fourth, and fifth picks all be running backs. You probably want those guys to stay healthy enough and be good enough to move on. Another hyperfragile build here. This one is pretty close to a hyperfragile. Another relatively hyperfragile build. A little bit more balanced and having like signature George Filani at the end. Like George Filani is like the exception to the psychic hates late running back rule. And this one, I mean, we went 0 RB with the Nakua, London, Collins, Waddle, Lamar start, and then just absolutely hammered running back so that, you know, by taking the next 5 picks as running backs, we sort of just get to sit back and go, oh, no, yeah, this is still fine. Yeah, another 4 running back build, not taking anyone late. Another 4 running back build, not taking anyone late. This is more like the nonsense, but this is from a little while ago. And this one is also from a little while ago then. And still has, you know, just George Filani as the late running back. So I'm hoping the training camp news makes it so that those sorts of builds are a little bit more viable. But, you know, all you can do is hope for that sort of stuff. Don't have any control over it, so gotta just hope. But yeah, that was my stream for tonight. I thought it was a fun little exercise. I think I'll probably try and do it again, maybe like once a week. Have our stream be a multi-table stream, but definitely keeping it to less than I did this time. I want less auto picks, even though I trust my ranks. I don't trust them enough to blindly draft off of them. Otherwise, I might be doing this completely differently. But yes, thank you so much for stopping in, guys. Really do appreciate it. It was good to talk with people in the chat and everything. And I will see you hopefully for another stream tomorrow. Bye-bye now.